You too. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Rob Cam, and welcome back to the Rob Cam Show. Sorry, I had to flex on y'all. Stop. In this one, we are reacting to the boy Planner Productions, and in his video, if John Cena lose, we riot. We definitely riot if he lose, bro. All them little kids that watch John Cena, we all adults now. That's me. We all about 20 something. I'm 28, so we basically between the ages of 24 to maybe 30. But yeah, shout out to Planner, always coming with a great content as usual. All his information will be in the description below. Subscribe to the boy Rob Cam, leave a like on this video. Let's try to get 10 likes on the video if y'all can do that for the boy. I appreciate that. But without further ado, what is
Braun
this?
Breaker
Wait, let's get into it.
Braun Breaker just gave us one of the craziest spears of all time.
I was just recorded. I was talking about the spear. Yo, shout out to Carlito because he sold the shit out of that spear, man.
And this hot take says that Braun Breaker has got to become the world champion before the end of 2025.
Up your brakes. I'm not saying he won't, but not right now. Not right now. I feel like it's a possibility. Never say never. I don't disagree with this person saying. I feel like there's a lot of people, unless y'all send him to SmackDown and send the world title to SmackDown. I said that I don't know what order I'm gonna put these videos out, but in one of the videos I've just recorded, I talked about Gunther and Cody switching shows and bringing the WWE title back to Raw and the World Heavyweight title on SmackDown, like how it was for a brief period in time where I was growing up and watching wrestling. I feel like it would benefit if we go back to that tremendously. But yeah, I do feel Braun will win the world title at the end of this year. I don't know, because there's a lot of people, well, I don't know. It's the world title. It's not, nobody's really like trying to challenge. People are challenging for the world title, but the world title, I don't feel like for like a Roman, for like Seth, for like CM Punk right now, I don't feel like their focus is the world title. It's more so of the WWE Championship. But I would love to see Roman hold that title or CM Punk to hold that title, which he is eventually. CM Punk definitely is going to hold that title eventually. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. I feel like Roman would add more prestige to the title that is needed because the title is fairly new. Seth kind of did that for it. Gunther is doing that. Damian Priest, I feel like for him, it was more so the title making him a main eventer. For Drew McIntyre, it's just for story purposes. But he's definitely world champion material in the main event scene. But I'm not saying Braun Breaker won't get his time. If they do what I said and then throw him on SmackDown too, put Hayes on Raw or keep them both on SmackDown and let the young guys kind of do their thing, I can see it happening. But in my personal opinion, there's a lot of people that have to get a shot at the World Heavyweight title before we get to Braun, honestly.
Look, I love Braun Breaker. I think he's a great talent. I think he's going to be a world champion for years to come, and I think he might have the best spear of all time. I truly feel that way, but I do not think there is room for him to become a world.
Yo, comment below who has the best spear of all time. In my personal opinion, Bobby Lashley. I like his spear. I like how he does a little torpedo spin with his spear. Edge started doing that, and I feel like the torpedo spear is like, because Edge used to do the spear, and I feel like that's why his neck was always giving him problems, because it looked like his head would just be stuck in the person's arm, and he would come back up. Yeah, so the way he does the spear now is kind of like Bobby Lashley with the little torpedo spin at the end, and I always loved how he performed his spear. Batista had a great spear too. Let's not disrespect Batista's spear like at all. My son got a great spear. Goldberg has a great spirit. Braun definitely does have a great spirit, especially what he did to Carlito. But I wouldn't say, like, in my personal opinion, like, he's up there. Like, I fuck with Bobby Lashley's spirit. Like, If they hyped up Bobby Lashley spear like they did Bronze, and like he kind of made it like I know why people love Braun Spears, because it looked like Braun be just like drilling people paws, like he be like cutting people in half, bro.
Champion in 2025. However, I do think in 2026 or even 2027, that is when Braun Breaker has got to be a world champion.
Yeah, not this year. I don't even think 2026. I feel like there's a lot of people that
will be ready to
deserve to
event scene
have a title shot. Sami Zayn definitely.
The next hot take
says
that Drew McIntyre has got to be one of the most poorly booked wrestlers ever, and I got to agree. It is unbelievable that WWE is not putting Drew McIntyre in the main event scene after that great feud that he had with CM Punk. Even before then, I thought that Drew...
Okay, to piggyback on what Planet is saying, Drew McIntyre is in the main event scene. Damian Priest is in the main event scene, and that's to piggyback on what I talked about the world title. I don't think it was this video. So basically, Damian Priest won the World Heavyweight Championship, just of course because he had Money in the Bank. But I felt like they did it so the title could make him feel more important to us. And for me, during his title run, it definitely shedded a main event light on him to me, because I felt like while he was champion, don't get me wrong, it wasn't like, oh my God, he had a great run. Like, it was short and it was decent. But I feel like him winning that title solidified Damian Priest as going forward basically Triple H's Undertaker, which I feel like he is. So I look at this match as like a Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels kind of thing in that aspect, or like two great wrestlers going at it, don't need a title, just hatred of a rivalry, of a story being told. And their story is not bad. I feel like people think Drew is being demoted because of Priest, but it's like Priest is a main eventer whether you like it or not. Will Priest win a world title again? Maybe not right now. In the future, yes. But Priest is definitely a great fit on SmackDown. Priest, like I said, is basically Undertaker for Triple H. Drew McIntyre, if I had to compare him to somebody, I don't know. Maybe Triple H and Shawn Michaels combined into one person. If I had to compare two people to make one Drew McIntyre, like, I feel like it's both of them combined into him, into one person. That's a hot take, but yeah, I don't feel like a lot of people don't like this for Drew. I fucks with it. I feel like it gives him something to do, even though yes, there has been plenty of WrestleManias, except for 40, where Drew has been in that kind of situation. But like I said, it helps both men get on WrestleMania, and I feel like to me they're both main eventers. Especially like I said, the point of Priest winning the world title was to make him feel important, make him feel like he's a main eventer. If y'all agree with me and don't, then it is what it is. That's just my opinion.
Drew McIntyre was doing great. The guy's been killing it, and he's not being rewarded for his work. It is unbelievable. Even this hot take by Darkuto says that Drew McIntyre is criminally underrated and should be one of the top guys. And while he is one of the top guys, he's not being used as one of the top main eventers, which is really sad to see. I think he should have been involved in some sort of match at WrestleMania, maybe even the triple threat match with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. You could have made that a fatal four-way.
Then how would that would be a problem, because all last year we got Punk and Drew. The only way I can see that working is because Drew hates Roman still. He hates Seth, and he actually, yes, he does fit the concept of the match. Now, story-wise, how the hell do you get Drew into this concept? Yes, you could go the Roman route. You could go to hatred for Roman, hatred for Seth, hatred for Punk route. But I feel like those three, Seth, Drew, and CM Punk, been at each other since last year, that I feel like we need to like kind of keep them separate for a little bit longer, just going forward. Like, they don't need to be wrestling each other again or be around each other in a rivalry again. Well, we got the whole of last year basically covering that. Now you're going to repeat last year. I feel like that's why he's not in that match. He could be. I feel like him versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania would have been a great match, but
because there's a lot of beef with all of those wrestlers. It could have worked, honestly, and that
it could have. That's why I say, yeah, he has beef with all of them, but it's like
a pretty fire idea. Anyways, Alan says if John Cena loses at WrestleMania 41, the fans might turn on Cody. I do not think this is going to happen at all, because a lot of people have been cheering for Cody during this entire feud that he's been having with John Cena. If you watch Raw for the last 3 or 4 weeks,
that's a tough take, because you know why I said that? I think why that person said that, because y'all be funny, bro. Some of y'all wrestling fans be funny, bro. Y'all will switch on a heartbeat. I feel like a lot of people want Cena to win. Don't get me wrong, and I'm one of them. I do want to see Cena win, not because I hate Cody's run, because I feel like Cody's run in the beginning was lackluster and a lot of people didn't like it. I feel like Cody losing to Cena and basically chasing his idol, chasing the guy he's modeling himself after to get back to the top again is a great story to tell. Like, it is a great story to tell. If Cena wins and we get this Cody chase to maybe all the way to SummerSlam where he wins back the title, or who knows, however long y'all want John Cena to be champion. It could be all the way to December. Who knows? But I feel like it would be a great story to tell of him chasing the title as well, because him being champion, a lot of y'all don't like it. I'm okay with it. But like in the beginning, yes, with the solo shit, yeah, lost me with that. The Kevin Owens shit was good. Probably the best one out of all of them was the Kevin Owens. And then Cena, well, obviously Cena is going to be up there, but that out of everybody he faced with that title, the only people that stick out is AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and now John Cena. So honestly, he wasn't facing important people, established people, main eventers. Like, he was facing Solo Sikoa. No offense, not a knock on Solo, but like Solo is Solo right now. What do you want me to say? Damn, Solo is Solo.
But the majority of people love Cody. They're cheering for him, and they clearly will cheer for him if he wins. Maybe some people online will be upset about it, but I don't think the majority of the WWE fans in real life would be upset. Speaking of John Cena, this says that John Cena is old and stale, and he's unfit to win the title again. And while he is old and he is stale and he's kind of washed in that ring, I'll be honest with you guys.
How is he stale if he's heel? I would understand you saying that if he was still babyface. The man is heel now. How is that still? We never got this version of Cena. This character of Cena, of him still being the goody, dressing like how he is, like the goody two shoe John Cena we've been getting for years, but as a heel, like, because he's like, yo, y'all not getting none of this. First of all, obviously it's because he's gonna turn back face at some point in this run, in this tour. Obviously, it makes no sense for him to change his gear to do it and end his career as a heel. It's good to get this little couple months as him being heel, and then him doing a little mini redemption story to get the fans back and on his side, and then he goes out in a blaze of glory. But I don't think John Cena is still stale at all.
I don't think John Cena is that great in the ring like he used to be.
My son Vane looked like a snake in his arm,
but clearly he could. But now he actually can't wrestle
like
too well. I think that's because he's trying to protect himself. But anyways, I don't agree with this hot take. Right now, John Cena is a heel.
You know, it was still about John Cena when he was doing all this extra shit and fucking over exaggerating and. Yeah, like, bro, that shit was still. That shit was pissing me off.
WWE can book his matches in
that shit
a
was
different
pissing
way
me
than
off,
before.
bro.
He could cheat a lot. He could use other people who can enter the ring and help him win the matches and stuff like
this
that.
This is the most serious I've seen John Cena in a minute, and I've taken him serious in a minute, because the shit he was doing prior to this, annoying. Hated it, don't like it, over exaggerated, a lot of shit. 5 moves of doom, and that's it. He wins.
Protect John Cena, and it will
or
make
lost.
It look like he's still
mostly lost.
Wrestler. Speaking of the John Cena and the Cody Rhodes feud, Mr. Seaweed says that The Rock is ruining the build-up to WrestleMania by not being involved in the storyline, and John Cena still hasn't given a
Who said The Rock is not involved yet? We got one SmackDown, we got WrestleMania. Who knows The Rock could pop out at WrestleMania?
Only to not show up, but I guess WWE has got to save the bigger moment for WrestleMania. Whatever happens at Mania, The Rock has got to show up and he's got to help John Cena win the championship. Otherwise, turning heel makes absolutely no sense. Hopefully, things do change, but I can understand why people are upset that The Rock is not involved in this build-up for WrestleMania, especially after that great segment at Elimination Chamber. The next hot take says that Roman should wrestle on TV again. I don't know why, but I feel like when he became the Tribal Chief, the matches he had on regular TV felt so special, and I totally agree with this. A lot of people will say that the fact that he doesn't wrestle on a Raw or SmackDown is good because it keeps him special, but
that's a lie. He wrestled on a debut episode Raw. Next stuff.
Disagree. I think
which is true. He did, but like it's because it was the debut episode Raw on Netflix, so. They kind of needed him for that one.
Should be wrestling at least once a month or once every 2 months. The fact that he doesn't even show up on TV to wrestle is getting me pissed off. He's too good.
I like that he barely shows up on TV. He's pissing a lot of people off.
So he's wasting the prime of his career not showing up and not wrestling on a Raw or SmackDown. A lot of people are paying money, especially the most money of all time for these tickets.
And then you know what pissing me off about Roman? You spent years trying to get people's approval and try to be the guy, which... If you think Roman's the guy, leave it in the comments below. Yes, he has been the guy to carry us through a pandemic, after the pandemic, until Cody probably beat him at WrestleMania for the past 4 years, because that was his title run, 4-year title run. He was the guy. My gripe with him is like you finally figured it out, and then you kind of took some of the work load off yourself once you figured it out. If anybody and anything you love, and like for me with this stuff, with YouTube, once I figure out how to keep an audience, how to do videos better, how to be better at this, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna do 1 video a week. No, that would make no sense for me to do. I'm gonna at least do 3. If I could do 5, I'm gonna do 5. If I could do 6, I'm gonna do 6. If I could do 7, I'm gonna do 7. Whatever, anything past 3 is good to me. Even right now, I'm not gonna sit here. If God bless me by the end of the year and I have 100K and I got that silver plaque right next to me, right by the end of the year, I'm not gonna be like, I'm out of here. I got my silver plaque. I don't need to upload no videos. So, like, bro, I love this shit. I love making videos. I love whatever this is between us. Hi, I'm Rob Cam, by the way. Nice to meet you. Nah, I fuck with you. But like I love YouTube. I have a I can't even talk. I have a genuine love for YouTube. Like I've been wanting to do this since I've been watching YouTube since it was created. I wanted to be a YouTuber when I was sad and I watched people's videos that made me laugh, forget for a little bit of what I was mad at or what's bothering me off of a lot of people on this platform. And I wanted to do that same feeling I had. I want to send that to somebody that's watching this video who's maybe had a bad day, bad moment, and or however long this video is, you forget about that and just have a laugh with me, and we could joke, and you laugh at my corny ass jokes and my weird ass personality, but hey, it is what it is. But that feeling of just, why would I stop in my prime or at the peak? There's so much more room to grow and to be better at. That's what I'm saying. And kids, let that be a lesson. Always strive for greatness. Like a young man in Akron, Ohio once said. I don't know if he said that, but all hail King James, and I'm not even a LeBron fan.
Gotta be out there and wrestle, especially if you are one of the top pillars of the WWE, and that is just not sitting well with me, the fact that he's not showing up in wrestling. The next hot take says that Jey Uso versus Gunther is the best storyline this year, and it's interesting because a lot of people are unhappy about the WrestleMania buildup between Gunther and Jey, but things did change. The story is heating up, and
it is heating up.
One of the best storylines.
Don't get me wrong, the story is heating up right now. The story is heating up, but it took a while to get. It's like you have a pot and the water's boiling, but you have the temperature on about medium, between low and medium, and now it's starting to really bubble up. Like the story is progressing. Don't get me wrong, but if you ask me if that's the hottest storyline, no. The CM Punk Roman Reigns Seth Rollins thing right now, I feel like has more of a how do I say this? Is more impactful or more important than that. It feels more important too. This match feels important, but honestly, it doesn't because it's not the main event. It's not. Who knows when this match is gonna go on at WrestleMania? It might open the show, which is fine. That's fine. It could open. Not everything need to close. And of course, Roman Reigns, Punk, Rollins is gonna close. We all know that's the main event, and John Cena and Cody Rhodes is gonna close the next night because they told us how the match card is gonna go. At least for the main events. I don't know about the whole layout of night 1 and night 2. We got the matches for night 1 and night 2 announced, but we don't know, like, besides the main events, we don't know the order. But I feel like they are gonna open, which is fine. Which is fine because it kicks off the show. You need something hot to get the fans like intrigued, to get their attention. It's like a YouTube video basically. You need something to like. I need to grasp y'all attention to keep y'all watching this video. Y'all gonna see me, and if I'm sitting here like this quiet, just not saying nothing, like just watching the video, and then video ends, and I'm like, all right, thanks for watching. Y'all gonna be like, yo, this nigga's boring. That's a fact. Y'all gonna be like, yo, he's boring. He don't talk. He just sit there and watch. He don't give his opinion on the situation. It is what it is, and I feel like that's smart for them to do, to make that the grasp your attention match. Like, yo, wake up. It's time. Let's go. It's time.
For the John Cena and Cody stuff because I love John Cena.
Ready for WrestleMania though.
This is up there. They clearly turn things around, and that's great to see. Speaking of Gunther, this says that Gunther should squash Jay at Mania, and there's a lot of people that actually have this opinion. Even my friend himself has been telling me that Gunther has got to squash Jay, but
I don't think he should squash him. Don't squash Jay. I think Jay should lose and win at SummerSlam. I don't think it should be a squash match. I feel like this shit should go either. It could be either or. I feel like Jay should lose. Not no squash. Jay should lose. Win at Summer, and if he does challenge it again, it'd be at SummerSlam, and that's the main event. One of the main events for SummerSlam, and they get their main event. Now, if the story turns into at WrestleMania, Jimmy causes Jay again for a title, then it's like nobody wants to see that. But then again, it's like, well, they kind of need to redeem themselves from the first time. But then again, nobody wants to see that right now. So I feel like that's a possibility because even though Jimmy's is inserted to the story as motivation for Jay, remember he has cost them title opportunities in the past. Single title opportunities, and he over here calling the U.S. title on SmackDown the U.S. tag team titles of the world. Like, he's on that tag team mount. He's like, nigga, you're not leaving me. Like,
I just disagree. I think Jey Uso is going to win.
Bring her ass back to the penitentiary.
Unfortunately, if you want Gunther to squash Jay, it's not happening. LEC NYC says that Jimmy deserves a bigger push than Jay, and some people feel this way, but I've never felt this way. I've always thought that Jay had more charisma than Jimmy.
I feel like they both deserve a push, regardless or not. I feel like they both have served as tag teams. They both are vets. I feel like they could benefit from separating, which they are doing right now. I feel like let's compare it to the Hardys. Who's Jeff? Jay. Who's Matt? Jimmy. But Jimmy could be, because Matt Hardy was still for so long. It's such an afterthought until he came out with the woken Matt Hardy gimmick and became more of the honestly, when he came out with that gimmick, he put himself above, like, ahead of Jeff with that one. I feel like that could be Jimmy's potential if he put, like, him doing the yeet or no yeet thing. Is like, bro, you're basically doing your brother's gimmick. If he comes out with something for himself, he could have that broken Matt Hardy kind of feel where he has not surpassed, but like passed his brother for the meantime of, like, for right now. Right now, Matt and Jeff are equals because they're a tag team again. But that broken Matt Hardy, whatever you want to call it, the broken Matt Hardy gimmick, oh, that put him ahead of Jeff for a few years. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I also thought that he was a better wrestler, and that's why I think he got the push that Jimmy did not get.
Jimmy Jimmy didn't get pushed because Jimmy been locked up too many times with too many DUIs and injured too many times. So the company does not trust him as much as Jay, who's been putting in work, as y'all see, and transforming his body, taking care of himself, and doing all that stuff to earn that push. So for people to say, "Oh, they should push Jimmy," Jimmy's opportunities has been there, but his record, his police record, honestly, and his injury history has halt that momentum, I would say, for himself.
Speaking of Jimmy in that push, this says that Jimmy Uso has completely saved the Gunther versus Jay feud, and Jimmy should get a major push just because of that. And I totally have to agree with this. I do think that adding Jimmy into the storyline completely changed things. It made Jay Uso serious. That was the main problem. The problem was that he was just saying yeet every single week, and also Jay Uso is much better as a serious wrestler, so this is exactly what the storyline needed. I wouldn't say that Jimmy is the reason for this. It's the writers who came up with this idea, but I understand the point, and I do think that Jimmy deserves a United States Championship or IC Championship run.
Of course.
This hot take says that Jay winning the Money in the Bank briefcase would have been better than Jay winning the Royal Rumble, and all I gotta say is I agree. I do think that Jay has...
Imagine Jay beating Gunther and then Jimmy winning the Money in the Bank and then cashing on Jay.
Turn things around in the storyline, and things are cooking like I
we
just
never
said,
seen that
but I still
before.
stand by
Oh, brother cashing on another brother. We never seen that before. That'd be a first in history.
the fact that I think John Cena should have been the one who won the Royal Rumble. It would have only
That'd
made
be
this
fire,
storyline
though.
with Cody
What?
better, and
That'd
also
be a
John Cena
fire
winning one
ass
more
story
time
to tell,
would have been
bro.
great for his legacy. Dom says that Drew deserved that Royal Rumble win. You see, I wanted John Cena to win, but I think Drew McIntyre winning would have also been a great victory. Drew versus Gunther would have absolutely cooked. I think that storyline could have main event to WrestleMania.
Yeah, but who would have been the heel?
Says that WWE
That's the
should
problem.
bring back Money in the Bank matches at WrestleMania.
Can't put
As
Drew
much
as
as
a
I
face
love a
right
Money in
now.
the Bank match at Mania, I think the pay-per-view itself is a lot of fun. It's great to have right before SummerSlam to get people hyped for the summer. So I think Money in the Bank in July is a great pay-per-view to have, and I don't think it should return at WrestleMania. Even though a lot of people have that opinion, I'm not one of them.
I think it should return to WrestleMania. There's no need for Money in the Bank.
That Sami Zayn deserves the Money in the Bank briefcase, and personally, I want to say,
Hey, Sami Zayn deserves a lot of things. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? He deserves a lot of things. He deserves like title. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Logan Paul or Dominic Mysterio or LA Knight win, but I would not be mad at all if Sami Zayn wins that briefcase
Like main
this
event
year
title,
and
like
goes on to become a
the main
world
title,
champion.
like
So
main
now I'm
titles.
adding Sami to that list. You got
The
Logan
IC
Paul,
title,
Dominic Mysterio,
we
which
seen
Dom
that
could wait.
plenty of
Then you
times.
got LA Knight, and now Sami Zayn.
World
Those are the
Championship,
four people
yes.
I would be happy with winning. If anyone else wins, I
Was
would
that
be
El?
upset.
Let me stop.
Clips 407 says that Kevin Owens is the modern day Mr.
Hey,
Wrestling.
book El Generico versus El Grande Americano. That's what y'all need to do. The fuck are we talking about?
And I've got to say, no, I don't think that's the case.
Let's
at
get
all.
Sami Zayn running around as El Generico. Who's that? Oh my god, that's not Sami Zayn. But that's not Chad Gate, bro. Come on, that story be fire.
That goes to Roman Reigns, and
they be
Roman
a tag
Reigns might
team?
be Mr.
Come on,
WrestleMania of all
man.
time. Roman Reigns main
Come
eventing 10
on,
WrestleManias or whatever the
man.
number is absolutely insane, and it truly makes him
WWE
the greatest
book that shit,
WrestleMania
man.
competitor of all time. Average Justin says, now that the world has got enough time to witness Jon Moxley, I feel more confident saying this. Dean Ambrose was better than Jon Moxley, and I gotta agree. I'm not a fan of Jon Moxley and the crazy hardcore stuff he does in AEW. I think WWE books him way better than AEW has, and I think that's because they've limited the stuff that he could do. And because of that, I will say that Dean Ambrose was better than Jon Moxley. And speaking of Jon Moxley, this says that Jon Moxley should return to...
Absolutely. Bring your ass back over here. Bring your ass back to the E, boy. We need you. We need you. We don't need the shit you been doing in AEW, getting a fucking bat with nails stuck to your back, looking. God, that shit had, bro. That shit made me hurt, bro. That shit was stuck in his back. Ooh, we don't need that. You could keep that where you're at. Leave that shit at AEW. Come back. We could either call you Jon Moxley or we could call you Dean Ambrose, but just come back and look like Stone Cold Steve Austin and get a proper push. And we got, you know what I'm saying? Like
WWE. and I really don't want to see that at all. I think there's too many other people in the main event scene that want a shot at the World Championship, and I don't want Jon Moxley just adding into that mix. I don't think he'll do too much to add value to the WWE and the main event scene. If anything, he's better off in AEW, and also he loves it there, so there's no problem with him staying. Lamar says that Edge is the
come back though,
but no one's ever ready to hear that. Edge is not the GOAT. He's nowhere near the GOAT. There's so many people that are better than him. You have Hulk Hogan, Shawn.
Like, people think, oh, because you're not facing for the world title is a fact. No, if you Drew McIntyre, CM Punk just literally showed you that you do not need any title to make a storyline feel amazing. Like, did we not just learn from that? Like,
on Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and those are just a handful of people.
Back in the days, that's how it used to be. Like, a good ass, fire ass rivalry storyline. Come on,
great
man.
Wrestler, but he ain't the GOAT. Phoenix Firebird says that Austin Theory will be on the list of budget cuts.
I guess Edge is not the GOAT.
Calling it now, and that's a pretty solid hot take because it could happen. I hope it doesn't, because I think Austin Theory.
Hot take. Theory should go back to NXT. Grayson Waller should go back to NXT. Carmelo Hayes maybe should go back to NXT. I'm not gonna say Breaker. He could stay. He could stay. He could stay. But those three, send them back down, because y'all not doing nothing with them. And Carmelo Hayes, what y'all doing with him is pissing me off. Austin Theory versus Ethan Page. Austin Theory versus Ricky Saints. Austin Theory versus. Come on.
Theory still has a lot of potential, and I think he could be a great main eventer. But anyways, hopefully he's not. And finally, the last hot take says that I miss Vince, and that is when you know you gotta end the video. I don't miss Vince at all. I think Triple H is better. Vince was too old, and he had to retire. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more.
Y'all listen to me and listen to me good. We don't want Vince McMahon back in WWE. We don't. I don't care how much y'all think y'all miss him. Y'all don't miss the old man Vince. Y'all miss Vince from when he was in his prime. Yes, we all miss that man. But Vince now he lost his touch. He just didn't give a fuck, and he just lost his touch. If it wasn't, if Vince was still in charge, Brock Lesnar would probably have the. First of all, there would be no world title, and Brock Lesnar probably would be WWE Championship at least 3 more times by now. Oops, my bad. But we don't want that. Yeah, that's enough. No. You can wish for that. Maybe he'll start another company and you can watch him then. Great bullshit, but yeah. But anyway, guys, appreciate y'all watching this video. Of course, subscribe to Planner. All his information is in the description if you want to check out his channel. Always has great videos, hot takes, and all that good stuff. If you're into that stuff. Of course, if you like my reactions, I want to do my WrestleMania prediction video before obviously WrestleMania, so sometime this week, so be on the lookout for that. If you're rocking with the kid, you already know, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, it would be greatly appreciated. And as always, appreciate y'all for watching, and always remember to keep doing your thing, baby, and make it make sense. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.